What's up, guys? Hey, it's an interesting video today. Travis from the Moto Aftermath broke the news about World Supercross possibly folding, and damn, it sounds like it's going to probably go that direction, but I'll break that all down. Max Vohland has a new home. He finally signed a contract for next year, and then the rumors of Feld and MX Sports merging. I got an update on that. So before we get into that, guys, I want to thank Coach Rob, Complete Racing Solutions. He'll work on the bike, off the bike, mental development. He helps you in all areas of life and racing. So go over there. He's got memberships that start at $15 a month and go up from there. There's multiple levels. But yeah, check that out. Epic Garage Designs. If you just want to get more organized, put some slat wall up, flooring, cabinets, you name it. Epic Garage will get you dialed in. Ride Strapped. Check out the new shirt, guys. Chris over at Strapped is doing some really cool stuff. He's got the Let's Go Brandon. He's got this. Just check out Ride Strapped. Get yourself some goggles. Use Cooksy for shipping, free shipping. And if you comment on any of the videos, I periodically read through those, and I am picking winners for free goggles, a shirt, or sunglasses out of the comments section. And if you need to ship something by a truck and you're tired of dealing with some of these flaky companies, hit up Precision Transport. So they are an easy company to deal with, and they're awesome. So anyway, guys, let's get into this.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So the news yesterday about World Supercross is potentially devastating to the sport, in my opinion.
We just have these rumors here that things aren't going well, and that could be a big problem for the series. Now, I'm really hoping that that's not it. We have reached out to both Adam Bailey and the team and some of the teams. The teams are saying they cannot comment on it right now, so that's kind of an interesting development there, because that means there's definitely something stirring. But we haven't heard from Adam Bailey or anyone else actually affiliated with WSX at this current time.
I thought the fact that they came in like a tornado. They essentially were like walking in the room telling everybody they're going to punch them in the mouth. What does somebody do if you tell them what you're about to do? They told Feld and MX Sports what they were about to do, how they were going to become the premier series. It was a tactical mistake. It was a tactical error. They totally screwed the pooch. And I'm disappointed for that. And they went in with the manufacturers telling them, we are the world championship. We have the FIM. Really, that FIM doesn't mean that much. And those are probably the biggest tactical errors that they have made. Is this series going to fold? I don't know. Apparently, the investors are not pleased with what's going on. Some investors are pulling. They're trying to get more investors. This thing has potential, and it really does. And it really could be a series that's great for the entire sport, and it could coexist with the United States series. But simply by calling it World or FIM didn't give it the credibility or the power that some people thought it did. And they chose the wrong strategy, and that is biting them in the ass right now. That, and then also, I can't imagine that the investors didn't see what I saw at that first round. I'm sorry, it wasn't good. And I talked to Adam Bailey about that, and I told him about that. Like, I didn't, I don't need to rehash that. I did a whole video on, I gave him some tough love on what they needed to do and why you don't come in demanding, saying you're going to blow everything out of the water and then deliver that product. It just didn't match, and maybe the investors saw that. I don't know. I'm speculating when I say that. But here's the hoping they do find some. And like I said, the team that I reached out to said it is not, in capital N-O-T, not folding. And man, I hope they're right. But it's definitely up for some major changes. The schedule that they currently have or have had this season looks like it's out the window. I would probably expect one or two races, and then they're going to try and salvage it, redo it. I'm not sure where it goes from here. But yeah, I'm pulling for them. And man, I really think the sport needs this. And so I'm crossing my fingers, but I'm not super positive. On positive news, Max Vohland. Yeah, Max Vohland finally got a ride. Pro Circuit Kawasaki has finally signed Max. And this has been a nightmare. He had a deal on the table for Star. Didn't qualify at Salt Lake. They pulled the offer. True story. Then, there was talks of him going back to KTM, back to Mitch, and there's all these things on the table. And Unfortunately, Max has had some flashes of brilliance followed by some subpar rides. These guys get ready to sign him, and then they see a bad ride, and then they get ready to sign him. Finally, Mitch has worked out a deal. Mitch understands this kid. Mitch worked with his dad, Talon. Talon rode for Mitch a long time ago, won some Supercrosses. He understands how this sport works, Talon and Mitch together, and I think they're going to give Max what he needs to succeed. I don't know if he'll be a Supercross champion because he's just not as good at Supercross, in my opinion. But when it comes to outdoors, he'll definitely be a contender next year. Every time when somebody like Hunter steps out, other people step up. People are kind of anointing Hayden Deegan as the next guy, and he very well might be. But there's going to be some guys that are going to fight him. He's not going to just dominate. He's going to have some other guys that are going to step up. I think Max Vohland will be one of those guys for Pro Circuit. There's been some talk about their bikes. Bikes are good. The problem is there's not enough communication between the riders and the mechanics to get the feel they want. I still think those bikes are better than the Gas KTMs and Husqvarnas. But with that said, maybe having Talon and Max around, maybe, and bringing in Levi Kitchen, maybe they can get that feel they're looking for because they're not far off. They're really not. And the reports of Mitch being past it and, the days of his team being dominant are over. Greatly exaggerated. This team is going to be tough next year. You got Austin Forkner coming back. You got Levi Kitchen, Max Vohland. They're going to be good. Yes, they were devastated by injuries this year. It was crazy how that all happened. Every week it seemed like a new guy was getting hurt. But I think that they're going to learn from that and they'll be better next year. And I had reported that at the end of the year, Feld and MX Sports were going to merge. Well, that looks like it's probably not going to happen. Man, the behind the scenes with these promoters, you can't script this stuff. It's crazy. All the different personalities, the different hangups here, there. Looks like they're going to continue the current partnership they have. It is weird that they changed and they're paying the teams the money for the Super Motocross or Super Duper, which the Super Duper is a great idea. I actually need to give them more credit. They've done an amazing job. And seeing how World Supercross came in and the struggles they've had, maybe I've been a bit too hard on Feld and MX Sports. It's not easy to put all this together and keep all these different personalities happy and make everything productive. And so some of the guys on the bottom get shafted. Well, we can still work on that. So while I've been critical of those two organizations, maybe I need to lighten up just a touch and give them credit where credit is due. They're doing something in a market that is very, very difficult. So I'm going to give them credit on that. And I don't know how it's going to work when they pay the teams. That's going to be tricky. With that said, they're going to probably do what they always do and say, sorry, riders, you're screwed. This is the way we're doing it. Take it or leave it. Well, what are you going to do? Go to World Supercross? They're going out of business, which is not ideal. But like I said, I still got to give them credit for doing what they're doing. I do think some things are changing. It's not immediate change, but when it comes to like t-shirt sales, licensing, I think you're going to see Feld loosen that up a bit. I think that has a lot to do with Jet and Jets and Donuts partnerships and how they're bringing in some stuff. And once you set a precedence that teams and riders can do stuff like that, it will get bigger. So anyway, guys, that's where I see things going. And I'm just hoping World Supercross finds funding and continues to right this ship because it's good for everybody. If they stay afloat, it's good for everybody. If they go down, it's bad for everybody, including MX Sports and Feld, because it's something that can grow the sport worldwide. They could bring in new fans. Every piece of this makes it bigger. So while I'm critical of Feld and MX Sports, I'm also very appreciative of the great job that they've done, especially this year in promoting the series, in getting Super Duper out there, in getting a TV package that is consistent on Peacock. They've done some really good things. Where they're at last year, where they're at this year, noticeable improvement. So for that, I will give credit where credit is due. So thanks, guys. Remember, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.